Hi, this is Dennis, Second Chance Tackle. I've had the opportunity this week to work on a couple of Ronald's reels, and he sent them in. He sent in a group of bait casters, and I don't get a chance to work too much with the closed faced bait casters, but I've been working on them for him and learning a little bit along the way, logicking some things out along the way, and just kind of having some fun doing them because it's not the normal thing that I see. Usually I see the big saltwater reels and the like, but that's okay. To answer one of my viewers' questions who said they finally overcame their fear of working with fishing reels, well, this is the one that I get the fear of, not because it's anything unusual, but it's just that I just don't work on them enough. And if you're unfamiliar with them, it's always good to be cautious and just take your time. As I like to say, have a sense of humor. And just do your best, and usually you can figure them out. These are not very complicated reels, but they just will present something a little bit different, and you just need to take your time to appreciate what that is. So the first thing I do when I go to work on a reel I'm not familiar with is I go out on the internet and try and find the schematic. So I was able to find this one. This schematic is for a later edition. I'm working on the 9300B. This is the 9300C. Everything else inside kind of looks like it's the same. If it's not, we'll kind of work on it as we go along there. Well, I generally start by taking off the exterior pieces, and as I do, I like to thank our first responders and essential personnel for all of their support, their hard efforts, their nonstop dedication to task in helping keep us safe during the pandemic. Their efforts truly are appreciated. So I took the cover off. There's a nut. Put that right in the cover. There's a spool gathering block. And from what I can tell now, staring me right front and center in my face is this big old E-clip that it's going to need to come off to release the spool. And this is a good place to take pictures. I always suggest taking pictures. I'm taking pictures with a camera right now, doing a video. You don't need to do the videos, but it certainly helps to have that camera running just in case. You always will give you a reference point at critical intersections to tell you what's going on in the reel and to show you what the sequence, the orientation is of pieces and parts, just in case you get sidestepped. The spool should come off now. It does. Then we have a click mechanism here, which is just laying on the bottom, so that's always a good thing to notice. We have a channel. This kind of goes in a little groove. Well, it's not a groove, it just kind of hugs the shoulder there, and it sits inside, just like that. So that's a good place to take a picture in case you lose your orientation on that. And this is the same so far on the schematic. And then we have one screw holding that on. We have two screws holding the case on. So let's go take those. I'm going to go with the lower screws first because that may give me a view into what's going on in this reel. This is a kind of a shield here, but this one says that it goes through and it connects our thumb button there. So let's take that off. And here's our case. And what we need to do with this reel is just a good cleanup. So let's get on that. I like to use penetrating oil to clean it up. And this is a good time to tell you if you enjoy seeing how reels come together, come apart, and go back together again to go fishing. Well, that's what my channel is about. It's about it. Okay, next I'm going to remove that clip. That should release the main shaft. Then I believe this unscrews. So this unscrews first. We should be able to pull the whole assembly up here. And now we want to remove the main gear. This is all part of the cleaning exercise. While I have that, I'm going to spray down the mechanism here. There's some grease trapped in that spring. I'm going to remove the handle. There we go. Then we're going to remove this main gear. And I want to pay attention to what I've got going on here with this anti-reverse dog. All right, all the pieces and parts are out. They're ready for cleaning. I'm just going to spray this handle. This handle is broken. It has some of the plastic. I don't know what the age of this reel is. It's been around a while. So we want to take care with this one. I'm going to mop off the old dried grease. Okay, sometimes I just run out of steam and I just ran out of the battery. So I'm going to use a brush to clean the teeth from that main gear. I use a Q-tip or cotton swab to clean the back end of this. And it's time to re-grease. I'm going to use a fishing reel grease. I recommend that you only use fishing reel greases. In this case, I'm using Penn Precision Reel Grease. I use a little artist's brush to spread the grease. We're going to get some grease on the back shaft. And we're going to get some grease on the main teeth. So if you like these and you subscribe and hit notifications, you will see all kinds of reels that I work on. And boy, do I work on all kinds of reels. And this is, quite honestly, this is the first series of bait casters I've worked on in a while. I mentioned that earlier. But I do take on all challenges, some more successful than the others. And if you have a reel that needs to be serviced or repaired and you're interested in having me do that, if you contact me using the information on the business card that follows, I will be happy to provide you with that repair information. All right, I've greased that part up. Doesn't hurt to do a little cleaning here. I'm going to use a fishing reel cleaner. I'm going to use Penn rod and reel cleaner. I use a little cotton or kitchen scrub to kind of get some of that old dirt off of there. And I use that ever-present paper towel on my bench to take care of business there. Right, this is rust. There's not much you can do with rust on these. This is just chrome loss. And we're going to just try and get that back on. It's a little interesting rocking it off. It's a little bit more interesting rocking it back on. Get that cap nut. I use a nut driver for this. I have a variety of tools. If you don't have a nut driver, don't worry about it. Use a open end box wrench. Grease back there. All right, this channel here is almost complete. This has got that spring on it. This is going to cause the release. And you do the same thing. I'm just going to bring that brush through, get that old grease off. Make sure we grease the gear in the channel. I'm going to go ahead and reinstall this. And this was reverse threaded, which is why I was having a little bit of an issue with it before. And when you put these back on, you need to make sure you're going in square. Okay, next up then is what's called the drag adjusting plate. And you'll notice on here that there's a tab on the back of this one. And interestingly enough, you may not have paid attention to it when you were taking it off, but that little tab belongs in the slot for that screw. So make sure you mount it into that screw, and that's how your drag adjusting plate works. Now what's going to happen is you're going to be able to turn this reel, push this screw up or down to give you tension on that plate. So that's on. We're going to grab our back end of the spool then. That goes next. Make sure you have that clear channel. Next up then is the hard washer and the clip. And I've stowed these in the cap. And a hard washer goes next. Then the E-clip. Sometimes you can get these on by hand. I'm going to try to do that first. Sometimes it's just hand strength. In that case it is. There you go. And now we have a D-shaped, now if it goes this way, it's a D-shaped hole that sits over the axle shaft. Let's clean some of that up. And we have our nut. Then we'll be ready to test this reel and get it out fishing again. So this is 2 of 2 so far that I've done for Ronald on these closed-faced bait casters. There we go. So let's give it a whirl here. So one of these handles turns. This one's broken. Seems to be doing fine. Make sure it releases. Make sure we get the snap back. We do. You can adjust your drag. That's working. There you go. So that is your Daiwa. It's the 9300B. It's a closed-faced, older bait casting reel. And this one's ready to go fishing again. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Please, if you like the video, indicate that. If you have a reel that needs to be repaired, contact me by email on the business card that follows. And if you'd like to see more, again, please subscribe. If you're a first responder or a local hometown hero, thank you again for your services, including the essential personnel. And by all means, please stay safe, stay well, and stay watching. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.